Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Indesim Esports Network for your Wednesday night. We are back here for something a little bit different tonight. We're TCR racing for the MSR League around Bathurst, Mount Panorama Bathurst. For round number one of the TCR League, this is going to be a 6-round series this season. Nice little short one, but how good is this, Paul? Jumping straight into this league, nearly 50 cars on the grid here tonight for the MSR round number one TCR League around the most famous track in Australian motorsport, Mount Panorama Bathurst.
Good evening, Aidan, and this is definitely going to be a fun one tonight. There's 53 cars so far in this service, so quite a large field, and I'm sure everyone's keen to have a good run tonight for round one.
Oh, they most definitely will, mate. Everyone's going to want to set their stamp or put their stamp on the series, which is the first series for MSR, and Jai Schultz, pretty much the owner of the league, along with a lot of other guys at the moment as well, Blake Urquhart being a part of that as well. So great concept by these guys to do this 6-round series, and it's an absolute pleasure to be able to bring all the action here on the Indesim Esports Network to all the viewers around one of the most famous tracks in Australian motorsport. So we look forward to bringing that to you at the moment or tonight, as we're going to see 2 races tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So everyone tuning in on here on the Indesim Esports Network. What you're going to see tonight, as they are in the qualifying session at the moment, they're just about 20 minutes into the 30-minute qualifying session. Jordan Ross at the top of the timesheets at the moment with a 117.51, not to be outdone by Rick Kuznetsov there in second with a 117.57. And I do apologise if I do pronounce people's names incorrectly at all tonight. This is our first time probably broadcasting and commentating a couple of different drivers that we're not used to. But round one around Bathurst, what a place to start the MSR TCR League. As I did say, it is going to be 6 rounds. It is an open setup, so everyone can jump in and create their own setup. But the 2 races tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and what you've got to look forward to here on the Indesim Esports Network after we set the grid here after this qualifying session, it will be race number 1 will be 11 laps. 11 laps around Mount Panorama Bathurst. With their fuel set at the moment, it's about a 36-37% fuel drop. So they'll be able to go start to finish for race number 1. But then we're going to go to race number 2, which will be a 17-lap race. They will have to make their way through pit lane. There is no rules whether you take tyres. There is no rules how much fuel you take. So it's all about the driver, how they feel, how they're going around the mountain, as we see a car just getting sent into the outside wall there, and he has a big incident through Brock's skyline there. So Shane Bowen there having a big incident. But what I've found, Paul, I've run very minimal laps here in the TCR cars, but because they're front-wheel drive, if you get those cars up over the curb, wherever your steering wheel's pointing, that's where your race car's going to go. So that's going to be interesting, and especially with the slipstream, everything you have around these cars, usually in a supercar, a lot of these drivers, know Blake Urquhart's done a lot of laps around Bathurst in a supercar. Jai Schultz, as you see, as we're on board as well, he's done a lot of laps around Mount Panorama Bathurst in a supercar. These cars drive totally different. To give you an example, a supercar generally on a hot lap can do about a 204, 205. You can jump into the 203s if you really, really put it on the line. These cars at the moment are in the 2-minute 17s. So a lot different car, a lot of draft going into tonight with the way that the racing's happening, but you just got to keep your car clean, especially around the mountain at the moment, as we see Josh Millard make his way through the cutting there through this qualifying session. Josh Millard at the moment has a little bit of time to make up. He hasn't really set down a good lap at the moment, but Jordan Ross still leading the way at the top of the qualifying session at the moment from Rick Kuznetsov. My apologies, Rick, when you watch this back, you can send me a PM and say you're an idiot. Brock Kelly with a good qualifying lap at the moment with a 2:17.9 to be in the provisional third position. Scott Hasler will be up there in fourth at the moment, 2:17.98 in the fourth. Tom Freer round out your provisional 5 with a 2:18.03. But we are nearly 23 minutes into this 30-minute qualifying session. They've only got enough time to maybe do one out lap, another fast lap, and that will be what will set your grid for round number 1, race number 1 of the MSR TCR League, mate. But it's an absolute pleasure to bring all the action here on the IndySim Esports Network, and I hope you're as excited as I am, Paul, because this is about to get crazy.
Definitely excited, Aiden, and such a large number on the grid. I'm sure it's going to be quite wild, and going to be good to watch, good to see, good to call, and yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to have fun.
Well, I hope you've got your white knuckle fever on your fingers there and ready to press the buttons real quick, because I'm sure you're going to have a lot to try and navigate your way around tonight. I'm going to have the easy night just here, sitting here calling it, mate, but you're definitely going to have your work cut out tonight, because 17, 18 corners, 21 corners, sorry. I think it's 21 corners around Bathurst, but these TCRs, nearly a 60-car grid. It is going to be nuts. So qualifying is going to be ever so important tonight to be able to get a good qualifying position, especially for race number 1, which we could pretty much say a sprint race. It's not going to have to be a pit stop. So qualifying at the moment for race number 1 is going to be very, very important. But Jordan Ross is still setting the way at the front with a 2:17.51. Rick Kuznetsov there in second, still with a 2:17.53. So those 2:17 point mids at the moment, Paul, look like they are good enough to set the top time. But in saying that, we've always been used to seeing a driver in anything we broadcast, they might set that late lap and just go, you know what, boys, you can set that. I'm just going to go boom, straight to the top. So we'll see whether Jordan Ross can hold that one at the top at the moment. But his last lap around was a 2:20.39, so no doubt getting used to the race car and not doing the qualify set. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is an open setup, so they'll drop the fuel, they'll change their setup and try and do everything they can to get the best lap out of these TCRs. And with the recent update, or the patch update through iRacing, they now released the Honda Civic and the Hyundai Elantra. So it's now a 3-make series, and it's created a lot of interest, and we see that exactly tonight here on the IndySim Esports Network for the MSR TCR League. With the amount of entries is just phenomenal tonight.
Well, Aiden, what make of manufacturer do you reckon is going to take the crown tonight at Bathurst?
I don't know what Jordan's running. I don't know what anyone's running. I know that Aussie Car, which is a great league, not taking away from this league or anything. I'm not biased to any leagues, but I know Aussie Car did a Phillip Island league, had some great drivers in there. I'm not going to go on the manufacturer, to be honest, Paul. It's a little bit hard to do that. I'd probably suggest the Hyundai Elantra will be pretty quick. But I think it comes down to the driver, mate. So, and around Bathurst, it really doesn't matter what make you've got. Even though the first race is only going to be 11 laps. 11 laps around Bathurst in one of these cars, that's still nearly 30, 35 minutes of racing. So there's lots of time for you to make a mistake. So we will see how that happens. But that's my answer. I'd say Hyundai Elantra, even though that's not the car that I tend to race in the TCR, when I've never even actually done a race in the TCR. But I would have to ask that exact same question to you, Paul. What car would you suggest is going to win tonight?
Well, it's good to see a bit of a mix of the Audi and the new Honda and Hyundai.
Well, I do see it's a Honda at the top at the moment.
Well, you're wrong there. It's actually an Audi at the top.
Oh, sorry, but, Audi. My apologies.
But yeah, if we're looking there, you got Audi and Hyundai, and then third and fourth Audi, and then the first Hondas and fifth there. So it does look like a strong showing from Audi currently. But But I was kind of hopeful for a Honda, to be honest. The little hatch of the Honda, I do like the cars, and you bought the Honda, and yeah, I was feeling the Honda, and that's what I was going to buy, even though I've already got the Audi.
Yeah, don't mind Honda. Don't mind the Honda. Something about Hyundai Elantra, as we see, was that Josh Woolley just going into the fence there down through the dipper. But there's something about the Hyundai that just makes me feel Elantra. Like, I just feel like I just want to go down the shop and buy some milk and bread. That's just what made me not sort of want to buy the Hyundai. But in saying that, there's going to be a lot of people out here with the Hyundai, which is going to do a great job tonight. So we'll see how that goes, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I've always liked the Audi. As back in the day on the old PlayStation, I used to play Toka touring cars, and I'd always loved the Audi for some reason. So
yeah, and you would have had the old Audi, the grey Audi with the red Audi livery down the side with the circles.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, I was exactly the same. Otherwise, I was the Renault. Jason Plato, etc., in the blue and yellow Renault. But that's showing our age, Paul. But anyway, we'll go back to the racing. We are now 26 minutes, nearly 27 minutes into the qualifying session. Jordan Ross still leading the way. Sorry, 29 minutes. Jordan Ross. No, I'm not hitting. I'm trying to talk so quick. Jordan Ross at the top at the moment. Looks like those times are going to set the standard here. Let's go back, have a look. Jay Schultz, the league owner, sitting back there in 24th. Jump back, look where Phelpsy's sitting. He's in 39th. He's going to have a long way to come back tonight. Ruben Phelps from Aussie Esports. But Jordan Ross setting the time at the moment at the front, 2:17.51. Looks like that's not going to get beaten at the moment. So I tell you what, with 2:17.51, we go all the way back to 15th position, and that's only a second between the top 15 drivers. So that's open qualifying with a draft, but once we go into the racing, it's going to be totally different, Paul.
For sure, and that's qualifying done and dusted, Aiden. So we're going to have to work our magic here and go through this grid pretty quick.
We're going to have to go through real quick. So round one of the MSR TCR series, Jordan Ross will lead off the pole from Rick Kuznetsov out of P2. Brock Kelly and Brian Borg on row 2, Scott Hasler, Tom Freer, 5 and 6. Matthew Hansford-Taylor and Dion DeGraaf out of 7 and 8. Corey Shepherd, Damon Mulqueen, 9 and 10. Charlie Sutton and Sebastian Varndell out of 11 and 12. 13 and 14 will be Thomas Martin and Max Christian, as my screen just decides to stuff up on me, but I'm coming straight back. 15th and 16th will be Tyler Bowen, Blake Urquhart, Jake Edwards, Luke Swan, Brody Shepherd, Bowen, Giddy, Boylett, Smith, Jai Schultz. As we go across, it'll be Hughes, Bell, Brunt, Millard, Horwell, Williams, Woolley, Haslam, Graham, Moyes, Moore, Tresidder. As we keep going across, Ford, I can't read that, Hamlin, Phelpsy, Ingerson, Ryland, Patterson, Collard, Tomlin, Pattullo, Hamilton, Cross, Brad Fenley out of the 48th, and we keep going. 49 is Crotch, Mortensen, Adam Ariel, Truggeggio, Newans, Bailey, and Brock Smith on a 55-car grid. That has to be the quickest grid I've ever done here on the Indersim Esports Network. But, oh my God, 55 cars around Mount Panorama Bathurst. I hope you're tuning in here on the Indersim Esports Network. Be sure to share us across our socials, because you're about to get the privilege of witnessing some of the best TCR touring car racing around Mount Panorama Bathurst. So the lights are up. We're ready to go. It will be Jordan Ross off the pole. 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are off. Someone in the background already wanted to go early, but Jordan Ross got a good jump there over Rick, and they're going to go nice and stable down into turn number 1. as they make their way up Mountain Straight for the first time tonight for race number 1. So they're just trying to get themselves into position. Have a look at this field. They're still coming, Paul, around turn number 1. It is absolutely chockers, and Jai and Blake have to be absolutely stoked with the turnout tonight. But Jordan Ross and Rick Kuznetsov at the moment, they're going out for it at the front as they make their way up through the cutting for the first time tonight. So Rick is just sitting up in behind. Brian Borg's sitting there with a stalking brief at the moment in third position. He's just going to sit there and wait for this to play out in front of him. Chom Prier up there in the 4th position. But I tell you what, back in there through the mid-pack now in 16th possession, Brodie Shepherd, he's got a little bit of pressure behind him as well as they're trying to go too wide through the change of direction across the top of the mountain as they make their way across McPhillamy Park and Skyline for the first time tonight. Oh, as Brodie Shepherd has a nice... Oh, no, it wasn't Brodie Shepherd, sorry. It was Matthew Boylett getting a nice little hit into the outside wall there. So, tell you what, it's definitely happening. And there you go, Matthew Boylett. He's had a big send into the outside wall, and his cars said, no more for me. But they make their way down onto Conrod Straight for the first time tonight for round number 1 of the MSR TCR League. And it is Jordan Ross leading the way over Rick Kuznetsov. Rick Kuznetsov right up in the slipstream there of Jordan Ross. Is he going to want to make a move down into the Caltex Chase, as they used to call it, or into the Chase? True.
So Rick just not quite able to get the job done there. The brakes were glowing on the back of the Hyundai there, and not quite able to make that move. And Jordan Ross leads the very first lap of round 1 MSR League. So the guys make their way back up the mountain again for lap 2. Yeah, the top 5 there: Jordan Ross, Rick Kuznetsov, Brian Borg, Tom Freer and Scott Hassler made a bit of a breakaway here from the rest of the pack. Damon Mulqueen in 6th there, so Damon just trailing about 3.5 seconds there to 5th, so a little bit of a breakaway from the top 5. Damon's got Sebastian there just in the background, so Sebastian about 1.3 behind Damon there, and then another 1.5 seconds back Tyler Bowen. Then we got another big pack coming behind them. So.
And I'm back, Paul. Sorry about that. Just had to jump away for a minute. But Thomas Martin there in the 12th position, doing a good job. So, yeah, it is Jordan Ross and Rick Kuznetsov at the moment at the front. So, apologies, I just had to jump away. It's something I have to deal with in the background. So, I do apologise about that. But thank you for covering me, mate. That's a pleasure we have about real life here, broadcasting. But sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew Graham in the wall there. Let's go back to the Aiden Improves Media Cube instant replay and have a look what happened with Matthew Graham down. Oh, is there someone trying to join that? And someone just tries to join that as well.
It's Harrison Cross there. So, yeah, let's go see what Aiden Improves Media Cube's cooked up for us.
That's terrible, Paul. But we've cooked up a bit of action at Mount Panorama Bathurst, so we'll see that as they come through. The rear's just locked up there and just sent it straight into the outside wall. Downhill braking zone there, and very easy to do that. He got caught up, and obviously another driver decided that was a reason. But This is where Harrison's going to come in and join the party as well. So he's making his way down. He's done the exact same thing, and he's going to join the previous driver straight down. He's going to go, if you didn't just crash, I'm just going to finish it off for you. So unfortunate there for both drivers, but we'll go back to the racing at the moment, and it is still Jordan Ross leading the way over Rick Kuznetsov. Brian Borg sitting back there. Tom Freer sitting there as well. Scott Hasler. So it's now a 5-car fight for the front. Damon Mulqueen sitting about 3.5, 3.6 seconds off the back of this battle at the moment. So he's a little bit out of this one. But, as Jordan Ross gets loose across the top of the mountain, and that's going to allow Rick Kuznetsov a part of this one. Is he going to want to make a move down into the corner? No, he's not, as they make their way down on to Conrod Straight once again. But this is how much pressure Jordan Rossen has from Rick at the moment. But Brian Borg and Tom Freer, they're too wide in the background. They have Scott Hasler as well, a part of this one as well. So don't take your eyes off this, ladies and gentlemen, as they make their way down the chase. Forget about the front two. This is what it's all about right now as they go too wide down through the chase. And it looks like Jordan Ross is off. He's gone through the chase there, and he's through the grass, but he's going to be all good. Is he going to have to readdress that position? But there's cars going left, right, and centre. Brian Borg, he's not wanting to go into pit lane, but he's going to have to. And he's got back on the track. So that reminds me, actually, Paul, of the V8 Supercar race with Scott McLaughlin, Garth Tander, etc. That was exactly very similar to that. But Rick Kuznetsov at the moment, he's going to be going, thank you very much. But let's go back. Adam Hughes at the moment sitting there in the 14th position. He's got Wade Sheedy up behind him trying to make their way forward. So Adam Hughes, he's up 11 positions off his starting position. So he started out at 25th. He's up into 14th at the moment. So a nice solid start there by Adam Hughes. As we go back to Nathan Moore as well. Nathan Moore back in the 21st position. He's up 14 positions at the moment. So Nathan Moore, he's right up in behind Matthew Brunt at the moment. So he's going to want to get the job done pretty early in this one and try and... This is only a short race. We're only 4 into 11. As much as it seems like it's going a lot quicker or a lot slower than what we'd think, but it is a long lap around Panorama Bathurst, especially in these TCR cars. So great driving by everyone around. But back to the front, we'll have the battle between Scott Hasler and Jordan Ross. Tom Freer, sorry. So Tom Freer, Scott Hasler and Jordan Ross for second, third and fourth. So we'll see how they go. Looks like that Tom Freer's just got a little bit of a jump at the moment over Scott Hasler and Jordan Ross. Rick, we got a crash up the top of the mountain. So that's Matthew Brunt having another moment over the top of the mountain. So we'll go to the Aiden and Prue's Media Cube instant replay, see what happened there. But there was an incident there from Matthew Brunt across the top of the mountain. We'll see what happened as he makes his way across Skyline. And it's the same thing that we've seen 3 or 4 times tonight, Paul. As soon as they hit that inside curb across Skyline, they just get the rear of that car loose and it just sends it into the wall. We've seen that 3 times tonight, which is really unfortunate for all the drivers.
Definitely, and loving this damage model. There's a lot of damage coming out on those cars, ripping off bumpers and mirrors flying around as we saw.
Well, we might be loving the damage model from a broadcast perspective, but I guarantee you the drivers aren't loving the damage model because they're not liking it at all. But let's just go through your top 10 at the moment as we are lap 5 into 11. So we're nearly halfway through race number 1, round number 1 of the MSR TCR League here at Mount Panorama Bathurst. We've got action to the minor placings here at the moment between the 7th, 8th, 9th place gettings. Damon McQueen involved in this one. Damon, after leading this one early, he's looking to get those positions back. So he's got Tyler Bowen, Sebastian Barndell in front of him as well, Brian Borg. So this is a nice little spicy battle pack in this one as they make their way across the mountain for the fifth time tonight for the first round. So keep an eye on Damon McQueen or Mulqueen. He'll want to make his way back up into this one as well. So we'll see how that goes. They make their way down the mountain once again. They'll make their way. Oh, there it is. There's the rear brake, and Borg has kept it off the wall, but he's going to sacrifice 3 or 4 positions here as they make their way down through. Oh, there we go. Contact between Borg, and it is on. Oh, there's a three and a half somersault and a spin and kept going. Is that Blake Urquhart that's just sent that around 360 and kept going? So Blake Urquhart doing a good job there. So as they make their way down Conrod Straight, once again, Blake Urquhart's going to want to make a couple of positions back. I'll tell you what, he was just facing the wrong way and he's just trying to make another move. So these cars must be built tough. But Tanner Schultz joining in on the broadcast, my son. Good evening to you, Tanner. Welcome on the Intersim Esports Network. Hope you're enjoying all the action here around Bathurst, Mount Panorama Bathurst for the TCRs. But how good is this? It doesn't matter where you look. There is always a battle. We're back in the 20th position at the moment. Matthew Hansford-Taylor having a battle with Dean Williams as they make their way down in the final turn around Mount Panorama Bathurst, and they make their way up the straight once again. But Paul, I tell you what, we were not expecting anything different. 50-something car grid around Mount Panorama Bathurst. It hasn't disappointed. It's been some quite clean racing. It's all iRacing yellows. That's why we're seeing the cars keep going around at the moment. But it's been some pretty clean racing. But this just goes to show how hard these cars are to drive, let alone around one of the most trickiest tracks around Australia in Australian motorsport, being Mount Panorama Bathurst.
Definitely, you saw me go for a quick spin in the Honda, and needless to say, we won't be showing that on the broadcast, that's for sure.
No, we should probably do that. And Pete Grattan tuned in on the broadcast. Thank you, Pete, for tuning in. Blake Urquhart, he's a supporter of Blakey. So Blake doing a great job tonight. Blake Urquhart, probably not where he'd usually want to be, but he's sitting back there in the 10th position. He's just trying to make his way forward at the moment. I tell you, he's got some pace though. Rick Kuznetsov at the front. He's showing a clean set of heels. But we'll go back on with Max Christensen at the moment. No, we're on with Rick at the moment as they make their way down Conrod Straight for the 6th time tonight out of 11. So next time past the strike, there'll be 5 to go here for race number 1. Rick Kuznetsov has Tom Freer trying to range right up to onto the back of his rear spoiler, down in through the chase this time around. Not quite close enough to make a dip there, but he gets really close under brakes. I thought he was going to get onto the back of Rick Kuznetsov, but he did a good job pulling that car up. But that's going to allow Scott Hasler and Jordan Ross right back into this one as well. So this is a 4-car battle for the lead of this motor race. So we go across the strike this time around, lap 7 of 11. So into turn 1 this time around, Rick Kuznetsov leads another lap around. They make their way up Mountain Straight. Tom Freer's going to want to get right in behind the draft here, right up behind the bump of Rick Kuznetsov up Mountain Straight, as will Scott Hasler and Jordan Ross, as they make their way up into turn 2 here. One of the most trickiest corners, because it's one of the most fastest corners, but you need to get it right. And it looks like they're doing it now. So you definitely need to get it right, but it's really easy to get it wrong. So Rick Kuznetsov will lead his way up into the cutting this time around. Tom Freer looking really racy. He's going to make a move into the cutting, and that's not somewhere you usually see a big move. He's going to be on the wrong side of the road here as they go through the change of direction and make their way across the top of Mount Panorama. They'll go across McPhillamy Park, go down into the Great, and then they'll make their way across the top of the mountain, and they'll go down once again They'll go through Brock Skyline here. Rick Kuznetsov, good job there, keeping Tom Freer at bay as they make their way down across Brock Skyline, now into the dipper and on the power. So Rick Kuznetsov keeping the lead at the moment over Tom Freer, Jordan Ross and Scott Hasler, making their way down into the final corner, going onto the back straight, and they're going to go down Conrod Straight once again. But I tell you what, Paul, this is definitely going to spice up, as we're seeing here now. Jordan Ross trying to make a run on Tom Freer down Conrod Straight. Teammates, so you'd like to think they'd let each other go, and it looks like that's going to be the job now. So it looks like that Tom Freer realised that Jordan Ross has a little bit more pace, and he's going to let that JK Signs car get up in front and try and battle Rick Kuznetsov for the lead of this motor race, because there's 7 laps into the 11-lap race. It is a 4-car battle at the moment. But how good is this, Paul? This is great. Oh, not calling TCRs around Bathurst at all. We've called a lot of stuff, but TCRs around Bathurst, and there's battles happening everywhere.
Definitely, and it's hard to look at everything. Like, there's so much going on around the track, everywhere you look, and I'm sure all the guys will be loving all this racing action. And it doesn't matter where you are on the track, there's someone around you.
Yeah, definitely, and with 50-odd cars, you would not expect any different. But Jordan Ross has now got the job done, Paul, at the front. Jordan Ross has got the job done on Rick Kuznetsov as they make their way through turn number 2. We'll just keep an eye out here as they make their way up into the cutting. And it is Rick Kuznetsov now that's got the job back done on Tom Freer. So Jordan Ross has gone back one as well. So as quick as we say that Jordan Ross is trying to get up there, Tom Freer says, Jordan Ross, I don't care that you're my teammate. I'm going for the lead of this motor race, and I'm going. No, I'm going to give Rick a little bit of something as we go across the top of the mountain for the next time. And yeah, we make their way across. We'll go through Brock Skyline this time, make their way down the mountain and then into the dipper. But Rick Kuznetsov, he has had a solid drive at the front. He really hasn't been headed. Like, he's got a strong head at the moment. He's got a pack of 3 angry TCR cars behind him at the moment. And he's doing a great job as there's a car in the wall in the background, Paul. But yeah, they are coming up on lap traffic. So just take over for a sec, Paul.
No worries. So yeah, this battle's really heating up at the front here. Rick Kuznetsov, Tom Freer and Jordan Ross obviously back in this again. Jordan Ross wants to get back to the front here once again, and he's ranged back up on his teammate there, Tom. So sure they're going to trade places again, but I think we might go on board here for a lap. We'll take everyone tuning in for a lap around Bathurst, and we'll jump on the back here with Scott Hasler, and we'll go for a lap around Bathurst and watch all the action up front here.
Yeah, definitely tune in here on the NSM Esports Network. The number 2 of Scott Hasler around Mount Panorama Bathurst here on the NSM Esports Network. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, a lap around Mount Panorama, Bathurst in the TCR of Scott Hasler. I tell you what, he got really light under the rear brakes there, down into Murray's Corner for the last time there. But we're lap 10 into 11, and it still is Jordan Ross now taking the lead over Rick Kuznetsov. So Jordan Ross deciding it's my time to go at the front. Has he gone too early though, Paul? This is draft heaven around Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Has Jordan Ross gone too early? Or is Rick Kuznetsov or Tom Freer got something for Jordan Ross in this one? So they're going to make their way up through Griffin's Bend into the cutting for the second last time tonight. They've got lap traffic to play with as well. So it is a battle for the front at the moment. It is all between Jordan Ross and Rick Kuznetsov. Jordan Ross being the beneficiary, leading the way across the top of the mountain this time around. So it will be, they make their way up through Reed Park. They'll go through Fog Hollow, through Solomon Park, as we're going back to Tyler Browen. As Max Christian goes around. We'll go to the Aiden Pru's Media Cube replay and see what happened there.
There's a back left tyre there. No wonder he... There, the back left tyre sticking halfway out the car and bent. So must have been a little bit of an incident before that, Aiden. Back at the front here, so Jordan Ross got a little bit of breathing room over Rick at the moment. So Jordan back out at the front where he wants to be. And the two cars at the front, the lap traffic causing a bit of havoc, has really separated the top four now. So Jordan and Rick managing to break away there from Tom Freer, and Damon Mulqueen's actually made his way up into fourth. As something's happened. Scott Hasler's dropping way back down to 16th now, so not too sure what happened there with Scott.
I tell you, the beneficiary of all this is Wade Sheedy. He's up 13 spots on his 21st starting position, so he's up into the 8th position at the moment. So Wade Sheedy doing a great job. We do get the white flag now here for race number 1, round number 1 of the TCR series from MSR. And it will be Jordan Ross leading the way from Rick Kuznetsov up. Now, they're going to make their way up into the cutting this time around. So let's just keep an eye on this battle and see who's going to get the win. So it's all about this battle at the moment. So they make their way up across Quarry Corner. They'll make their way through Reed Park this time around, into Frog Hollow, down through the Great. They'll go into Solomon Park and McPhillamy Park this time across. Are they going to have anything, or is Rick Kuznetsov going to have anything down the hill here? So they make their way across Brock Skyline, down into the S's this time around for the last time of race number 1. They'll make their way down into the Dipper now. Who's going to get on the power quick enough? It still looks like it's going to be Jordan Ross making his way down the hill. So into Forest Elbow for the last time tonight. It is going to be Jordan Ross leading the way, but I tell you what, Rick Kuznetsov's going to have the draft as they make their way down Conrod Straight into the chase. Is he close enough? Is he going to have enough draft to be able to make that move done? Looks like he's a little bit too far behind. Looks like it could be Jordan Ross's race to lose at the moment, but we'll see as they make their way down through the chase for the last time tonight. Rick Kuznetsov a little bit too far back, but he looks like he's going to have a go. No, he thinks second. He thinks better of it as they make their way through the final corners and up into Murray's Corner for the final time tonight. And it looks like we've got our race winner here for race number 1, round number... Oh, as he gets really loose on the rear brakes there, but it will be Jordan Ross taking the win tonight over Rick Kuznetsov. What a race that was, Paul. I tell you what, I thought that would have been a 5-car battle, but Tom Freer comes home in P3, Damon McQueen P4, and Thomas Martin in P5. But Paul, sorry to cut you off there, mate, and And it's a little bit hard. There's 50-something cars going around Mount Panorama Bathurst, but you never know where you want to look.
Definitely, all the action all over the track and battles everywhere. Obviously, we want to try and cover everything there, but final laps and got to focus on that P1 position there.
Well, it was interesting racing anyway, mate. Like, I'd 50-something cars around Mount Panorama Bathurst. I didn't expect it to be so clean, but what an absolutely sensational performance by all drivers here for the MSR League. 50-something cars around Mount Panorama Bathurst in the TCR. It almost reminds me, Paula, when we went back and we ran our own little team where we ran the Aussie car, or not the Aussie car, the Formula V in a league. It almost reminded me of that, with so many cars swarming around each other, and it was amazing. It was amazing racing.
Definitely still got a little bit of a battle going on here for the remainder of the race and the back positions there. So Aidan Ford coming across the line 28th, Corey Shepherd 29th, and Brody Tressida in 30th there.
Yeah, it will continue going on as we go down into the 40th and 50th positions at the moment. So on board with Matthew Brunt, he's in 35th position at the moment. He's got Jack Haslam in front of him. He's trying to make that last position down into the final turn. He's not going to be able to get that one done by the looks of it. So Matthew Brunt's going to come home in the 35th position, and Jack Haslam will come home in the 34th position. Tyson Hanmer at the moment in the 37th position. Looks like he's going to come home there. Joshua Woolley in the 39th position, just coming across at the moment. So I tell you what, we can just keep going back and back and back because there's so many. But we'll go through your final standings here for race number one, round number one of the MSR TCR League around Bathurst. It was all happening. It was only 11 laps, but let's go through your place getters or your final results here for race number one. It was Jordan Ross coming home in P number one, Rick Kuznetsov in P number two, Tom Freer P number three, Damon Mulqueen and Thomas Martin all round out your five. Brian Borg in sixth, Sebastian Vandel in seventh, Brody Shepherd in eighth, Blake Urquhart in ninth, and Wade Sheedy rounding out your 10. Tyler Bowen will come home in 11th, Adam Hughes in 12th, Nathan Smith in 13th, Shane Bowen in 14th, Nathan Moore 15th, Josh Millard in 16th, Neville Mell in 17th, and Dean Williams in 18th, Paul.
And I'll flip over the page there, and Cooper Horwell in 19th with Jake Edwards rounding out our top 20. Charlie Sutton in 21st, Dion DeGraaf in 22nd, Stuart Patterson 23rd, Jai Schultz in 24th, Brad Fenley 25th, Ruben Phelps in 26th, Scott Hassler, who was right up there at the front eight and dropped all the way back to 27th. So a bit unfortunate there for Scott as he was having a great race. Aidan Ford in 28th.
And we roll across into the 29th position. Corey Shepherd will take up that position with Brody Tressida in the 30th position. Graham Filland there in 31st. Ben Collard 32nd. Brandon Grotch in 33rd. Jack Haslam 34th. Matthew Brunt 35th rather. Matthew Hansford-Taylor will take up the 36th position. Tyson Hammer in 37th. Jason Woolley will take the 38th position in this one, Paul. Sorry, Joshua Woolley in 38th, Paul.
Max Christensen 39th. Matthew Graham, our top 40. Chris Tomlin, in 41. Bevan Moyes, 42. Brock Kelly, 43. Brock Smith in 44th. Troy Mortensen, 45th. Kurt Ingwersen in 46th. Grant Patullo in 47th. And Harrison Cross in 48th.
All right, as we keep rolling across, ladies and gentlemen, this grid just keeps going. 49th will be Matthew Boylett. In the 50th will be Matty Bailey. 51st will be Adam Ariel with an unfortunate night for race number one. I'm sure he'll be back there for race number two. Luke Swan in the 52nd position. Jai Hamilton in the 53rd, Anthony Trigigio, I can't pronounce that, my apologies, Anthony, in the 54th. Shane Ewan's there in the 55th position, Paul. So 55 cars around Mount Panorama Bathurst. It was really quick to forget how many cars are around there. And my apologies, mate, on trying to go back and look at everything, because you want to bring everything to the viewers here on the InterSim Esports Network. But with 55 cars, it's just, where do you look?
Well, blink and you miss it, but yeah, you can't take your eyes off the front, you can't take your eyes off any battle, and so much going on. And as you said, we want to bring the viewers, everyone go back and have a bit of a watch on the broadcast as well, so they can see themselves having a good time, having a good race and good battles with everyone on track as well. So how about we've got a few minutes to kill here, Aiden. So the guys just out on track having a bit of a warm-up before race 2. So let's go to the Discord channels, and why don't we grab a couple of drivers, and we'll just have a bit of a chat with everyone, see how the race 1 went for them.
Alright, I'm going to bring someone up. So there's not anyone that we can really see at the moment, but there's one I want to bring up, but let's just do this. All right, so we've jumped him in here as we're about to go into the warm-up session before race number 2. It's Matty Boylett.
Hello.
Matthew Boylett, you got a copy here in the broadcast booth, mate?
Yeah, I've got a copy.
Mate, race number 1, give us a little bit of insight how that went for you, mate.
Made it to the first lap and then had to go feed the chickens, so I had to stop on the track.
Mate, have you been watching the InterSim Esports Network other broadcasts? Because I talk about me and my chickens all the time. I've got chickens in the backyard too. So you using my excuse?
No, I actually had to feed them.
That's all right. What's your chickens called? Because I've got chickens in my
I've got
backyard
this fluffy white-looking thing. It's called Larry.
too. Larry.
He's a bit aggressive sometimes.
So's mine. Mine's called Snowy, so it's not quite as aggressive as your Larry. But,
yeah, he's a bit aggressive. He attacked me a few times.
Well, yeah. I got to say sorry to both of you boys, because I like chickens and I did have KFC for dinner tonight, sorry.
Oh, it doesn't matter, I like chicken as well.
I do too, mate. I do too. But
especially with
nothing
some
wrong
barbecue
with chicken.
sauce. Yeah.
Oh, you're adding a barbecue sauce. Oh, okay.
Any sauce.
But anyway, back to the racing.
Yeah.
Race number 1, you're pretty quick all the way through. How'd the race go, mate? How are you feeling coming into race number 2?
Confident, but I only completed I only completed 1 lap, so I'm not sure how my pace went, as I hit a wall a few times by myself.
Well,
but I'm pretty confident.
We're just trying to bring people up into the broadcast booth, because there's not plenty of people here to talk to. But, mate, best luck in race number 2. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end. Thank you for joining us here on the InterSim Esports Network.
You too. Thank you.
No worries. So there we go, Paul. This is a little bit how you're going at the moment, because we're still getting to learn who's who here in the zoo. But I've just put up Brad Fenley at the moment. I'm going to bring up the man, Brad Fenley. Bradley, mate, race number 1. You got a copy, Brad, first and foremost.
Yeah, got you there, Aiden.
Mate, TCR racing tonight. You put the VB livery on, sending it early. Did pretty good in race number 1. 50-odd cars around Mount Panorama Bathurst. It's definitely a good field tonight.
Quite a thing, I can tell you, to be travelling over the top. You just no idea what's going to happen and who we're racing against, but we're all here for some good fun. So, yeah, it's play on for the second race. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I stayed out of trouble for most of it. And, yeah, I was happy with a mid-pack finish.
I was just happy to see you run the VB livery, because you do a lot of oval stuff, and we've seen you do oval stuff through our other broadcasts. And I was just excited to just run the VB livery again tonight, mate. Do the usual, so it makes it easier for us to call here on the InterSim Esports Network. And you definitely got a little bit of vision there for race number 1.
Well, thanks, boys. And yeah, I've sort of warmed to when you run the NASCAR, there's always the battle of the beers. So I thought I'd get a good Aussie beer in there, and it's sort of converted on. You'd be surprised how many VB cars I've got, mate. But anyway, thanks for coming for the chat.
No worries, mate. We'll let you go back to where you are. I'll just put you down into a channel. You'll probably have to put yourself back up to another channel, but we'll let you go back down there.
No problem, boys.
We'll have a chat to someone else pretty shortly. But Paul, we'll have to bring. Pardon? All right, so real quickly, we'll bring Jai up into the broadcast booth really quickly. Jai, Aidan and Paul from the broadcast booth, mate, sorry to bring you up. You only got a minute and a half here in the warm-up session for race number 2. Owner of the league, got to be happy with how race number 1 went, and more importantly, 50-odd cars here around Bathurst. How good is that?
Yeah, it's an amazing turnout. I'd like to thank everyone for actually showing up, first of all. But yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't actually too many pile-ups or track blockages, considering how many cars there actually are here.
Yeah, it was definitely good racing, good to call. I don't really have anything more to say because it's our first time doing the TCRs and pretty much the first time calling a grid this big at TCRs at Bathurst. So definitely a hats off to you guys because that is just astronomical and well done. But mate, we'll bring you up at the end of the broadcast, let you have a shout out how people can join this league and get amongst it for the remaining 5 rounds. And, of course, we'll give you all that information up here on the InterSim Esports Network, mate. But good result from you, just outside the top 10 or just inside the top 10 there for race number 1. Look forward to seeing you have a nice, solid result there for race number 2 tonight.
Yeah, cheers. Hope you enjoy race 2 with the pit stop strategy coming into play too. So it should be interesting.
Well, we're about to find out, mate. So best of luck. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end.
Cheers.
Well, there we go, Blocker. 10-minute warm-up session almost done. We're about to go into race number 2. I tell you what, that 10 minutes went quick.
Certainly did, and yeah, definitely going to be interesting with that pit stop strategy this time. So who's going to pit when, and is anyone going to feel the need for that tyre change or not?
Yeah, and what the difference is on the tyre change is going to be the big question. But we're going to go through your starting grid here for race number 2. It will be Brodie Shepherd and Sebastian Barndell off the front row. Brian Borg, Thomas Martin off the second. Damon McQueen, Tom Preer out of the third row. Rick Kuznetsov and Jordan Ross out of 7 and 8. Blake Urquhart, Wade Sheedy out of 9 and 10. Tyler Bowen and Adam Hughes out of 11 and 12. Out of the 13th and 14th position for race number 2 will be Nathan Smith and Shane Bowen. 15th and 16th, Nathan Moore and Josh Millard. 17th and 18th will be Neville Nell and Dean Williams. Horswell, Edwards, Sutton, DeGraff, Patterson, Jai Schultz out of 24th. This is a really long grid, ladies and gentlemen. Brad Fenley, Ruben Phelps, 26, Hasler, 27, 28, Shepherd, 29, Tresidder, 30, Finland, 31, Pollard, 32, and we're already green. We couldn't even get through the well, excuse me, as I was trying to get through the grid too quick, but we're already green. We couldn't even get through the grid. So we're already into race number 2, and it will be Jordan Ross leading the way up Mountain Straight for the first time here for the second race. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the timing to catch up as well, Paul, because Jordan Ross isn't first at the moment. So we'll just wait for that to catch up as they make their way through Griffin's Bend for the first time tonight. As Dean Williams there just has a little bit of a moment, but interesting to call. We'll just see how this plays out. Just waiting for my live timing. I don't know, is your live timing doing the same thing as me, Paul? Because I cannot see anything.
It is definitely changed up. I'm not sure what's going on. The box has just gone absolutely mental.
All right, so Jordan Ross is leading on the tower at the moment, so live timing's now catched up for me. So it is Jordan Ross from Wade Sheedy. Blake Urquhart there. He's 6 spots up and he's starting to start down to 9. Oh, Jordan Ross with a big send into the fence there. This is going to be blockage down the hill. You watch them all keep coming. This is going to be blockage. Are they going to make their way through? There's a car there with no...
How are you doing, bud?
And, yeah, we've got a caution for the first time tonight for race number 2. Jordan Ross will definitely hate every single bit about that one.
Definitely. I still think there's something really funny with the timing there, because on board there with Wade Sheedy, and he's definitely not the first car. So, I don't know if a few people maybe started a lap down or start from pits and gone a lap down.
I think I know where it was, Paul, because when I was looking at who won the first race, I think it was inverted the top 8 or the top 10, which stuffed us around because... Yeah, definitely who won the first race did not start off pole in race number 2. So that's just us getting to know the different thing here and the different setups for the race schedules. But yeah, it was different because the winner of race number 1 definitely did not start off the pole for race number 2. So that's probably what stuffed up our live timing for the first lap. But now they've gone around, that is exactly where they stand at the moment. So, wait. All right, we'll do a quick reload, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on board with the car and just let you enjoy a nice little pace lap here around the safety car while we figure out who's where, because it looks like people need to pass everyone around the safety car, as that was just, yeah, we're just trying to get the live timing done. So we'll just jump on board now. We'll jump on board with Brian Borg. We'll just let you do a lap around the safety car, and we'll bring you all the action back here live on the InterSim Esports Network very shortly.
That right rear wheel there on Brock Kelly doesn't look too bad. So just done a quick reload there, Aiden, and the timing tower is going absolutely nuts. So yeah, we've got Troy Mortensen here showing in first. So Troy hasn't even caught up the pace car here. So again, I'm not sure what's going on with this.
Well, I'll tell you what,
car.
you want to make it hard to broadcast, let's do it this way, because Troy Mortensen's up 37 positions, started out at 38th, and now he's in the first position. So we're just trying to catch up, but we're under pace car at the moment. I think they're all thinking the same in their cars at the moment. As you can see, the car's moving over down Mountain Straight there, just trying to use whatever iRacing is saying, trying to get them past the pace car. So, Paul, the best thing, and Lukey Trahair, good to see you. LT43, good to see you here on the InterSim Esports Network, mate. Good to see you, brother. I think you're thinking the same thing, but that's all right. We'll just go. I reckon, Paul, the best thing now, you know what it's like in iRacing when you're trying to get the iRacing thing they're trying to set up and get ready to who's where in the zoo. We're one lap into 17 under caution. Let's just jump on with the driver. Let's just let us walk away for a minute, let this all happen, and let us catch our breath, because I'm sure the last 16, 15 laps of this race around Mount Panorama Bathurst for what will be race number 2, round number 1 of the MSR TCR League, it's definitely not going to disappoint. So let's just jump on with a driver at the moment. Let's jump on with Troy Mortensen. Just go on board with him. It's going to be a quiet lap, but just let us get our vocals back and get ready to bring you all the action here for the second race of round number 1, race number 2 of the MSR TCR League around Mount Panorama Bathurst here on the InterSim Esports Network. So, pace car lights are off. We're back here on the InterSim Esports Network. Thomas Martin is the one leading the way now under caution. If you are tuning in here on the InterSim Esports Network, be sure to let us know you're tuning in through the comments. Let us know that you're enjoying the broadcast. It is our first time broadcasting the TCR MSR League and our first time broadcasting TCRs at all, and we're having an absolutely amazing time doing that. We hope you're enjoying all the action here on the InterSim Esports Network. We can see you all tuning in. Let me know your favourite driver. Let me know who you're going for, but it will be Thomas Martin as they make their way across the mountain this time. He'll lead the way to the green flag this time around. Brodie Shepherd will be in close comparison to him in second, Brian Borg in third. But I'll tell you what, Brodie Shepherd started out at 44th. He's up into second. Obviously, he didn't go down through pit lane. Doesn't look like anyone has with my live timing as well. So Brodie Shepherd with an absolute stonker of a start, especially around the mountain, the concrete canyon that's the mountain. 42 spots up, Paul. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. But he's up into second at the moment. Brian Borg into third. Wade Sheedy into fourth, Nathan Moore in the fifth position, Dean Williams in sixth, Charlie Sutton will do this restart out of seventh, Scott Hasler in eighth, Dion DeGraff will start out of ninth, Josh Millard will start out of 10th. We'll run through your 20 as they make their way down Conrod Straight, ready to take the green this time around. So it will be Neville Mel 11th, Aidan Ford, good name there by Aidan Ford in 12th, Stuart Pattinson 13th, Matthew Hansford in 14th. It'll be 15th for Corey Shepherd, Jai Schultz in 16th, Brad Fenley in 17th, the VB Assassin, Graham Phelan in 18th, Jack Haslam in 19th, Matt Christensen in the 20th position there, Paul. But they're behind the Porsche safety car as they make their way down Conrod Straight. So you'll see the safety car come into pit lane this time around. It's going to be in the hands of Thomas Martin. When he wants to go is when he's going to go. Is he going to back up the field or is he going to go early? By the looks of it, he's backing up the field a little bit, but he's in behind the pace car. So is he going to go early or is he going to slow it down before they make their way into Hell Corner? We'll find out. Oh, sorry, into Murray's. So here we go, as they're about to go green. The pace car is about to go in pit lane. You'll see it come into pit lane. There it goes. Is he going to go early? Is he going to go early? No, he hasn't. He's backing him up a little bit. He's going to wait. He goes through Murray's and he's going to go green this time round. So he's on the gas now, straight out of Murray's, and we're green flag again. Brian Borg trying to get the job done on Brodie Shepherd, straight up into turn number one, into Hell Corner this time around. Looks like he's going to get that job done. So Brodie Shepherd, a little bit of sleep there off the restart, and that allowed Brian Borg to get the job done up into turn number one. We're going sideways up Mountain Straight. Good job by those drivers to keep the cars, but there was contact that did not need to be made here, but we're about to go three wide now as they make their way up into Griffin's Bend this time around. That's Wade Sheedy there. He gets a bit of a hip and shoulder there through Griffin's Bend and says, how's that going, Wade Sheedy, by Nathan Moore, and says, I'm going to keep you honest. So Dion DeGraff here in the ninth position. He's having a nice little ding-dong battle as they make their way up through the cutting as well. So Dion DeGraff on the outside there of Charlie Sutton, that's in front of him. But there's a lot of crashes going on backwards. Let's just... There's a big crash in the cutting at the moment, so sorry to jump back onto that, ladies and gentlemen, but there's a big crash. This reminds me of the Ambrose and Murphy crash. The track's nearly blocked through the cutting. Are they going to call a safety car or are they going to keep going? But that track was completely blocked. But let's go back to the front, Paul. Let's go have a look. It is Thomas Martin. He's now got a 1.11 second lead over Brodie Shepherd at the moment. Nathan Moore, he's a further 0.8 seconds down behind him. In the third position, Wade Sheedy, Scott Hasler, Charlie Sutton, Dion McGrath, Dion Williams and Josh Millard, Neville Mel rounding out your 10 at the moment. I was surprised that didn't pull a safety car there, Paul, because through the cutting there, she was pretty much chock-a-block, and 50 cars. I tell you what, it's definitely happened. You don't know where to call tonight, but through the cutting there, she was pretty much chockers. So yeah, no safety car. So a lot of those drivers in behind at the moment have a lot of work to do to try and get their way up in the field at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely was a jam track there as well, so surprised that the safety car didn't come out. But we continue on, and a few people getting some pit stops in, I think. So
yeah,
pit lane there's lit up.
Yeah, Tom Freer's come through pit lanes, as has Cooper Hallwell. Rick Kuznetsov, the winner of the first race, or second place getter, sorry, of the first race, has come through pit lane, as has Matthew Brunt, Tyson Hanma, Jake Edwards. A couple other drivers have as well. So are they going to have enough fuel to the end though? Because looking at the fuel, yeah, they'll be right to go to the end. So, or you'd like to think they would be, but we'll see how that plays out. But I'll tell you what, Thomas Martin in the absolute box seat at the moment. He's got 1.13 seconds the better of Brodie Shepherd as he makes his way across the top of the mountain and tippy-toes his way down the mountain at the moment, down into the dipper. He's doing a great job just holding that 1 second lead on Brodie Shepherd. But Brodie seems like the quicker car at the moment. Just look out for that yellow car in the second position, the 21 of Brodie Shepherd. See whether he can hunt down Thomas Martin in the lead of this motor race, and he's now dropped that lead to under a second. So Brodie Shepherd looking really quick and really racy. He wants something to play in this one. We're lap 5 into 17. This is his race right now, Brodie Shepherd, because there's going to be a pit stop for him. The cars in behind probably don't really need to worry about at the moment. It's a race between him, Thomas Martin, Nathan Moore, Wade Sheedy and Charlie Sutton in the top 5. So this is his race at the moment. And then what he decides through pit lane is going to be very beneficial as well. Does he take 2 front tyres? Does he take all? But let's go away from the lead battle at the moment. Let's go back and have a look at stuff a little bit further back so we can see your favourite drivers. And we are on board at the moment with Ben Collard. Ben Collard, little battle with Damon Mulqueen, who's just passed him as well. So they make their way down into Murray's corner for the last time. So Ben Collard there in the 17th position. But Paul, I talk too much. Jump in, have a chat, talk about the race, see how you think it's going lap 5 into 17 and lap now into 17 and have a chat, mate. I talk too much because I hear you in my ear talking all the time and I feel like you want to say something. So jump in, have a chat, mate.
All good. Yeah, just obviously making a little bit of comments here and there, and Rick Kuznetsov, so he's making his way up through the field there. He's up into currently in P18. He's actually down 8 spots. Ben Collard there just in front, so he's up 31 spots from where he started. So Ben having a good little race there. I'm sure we'll see some of the faster guys though that were up the front there trying to get through the field, so that's always the interesting thing to watch as they try and make their way back to the front. So Brad Fenley there in that VB Commodore VB Commodore VB Bitter livery there, and we spoke to Brad earlier, so Brad's up in P15 there having a good little run there, and we'll just go back up to our top 10 here. So Dean Williams here on the got Corey Shepherd on the back of him as they're making their way down the straight now.
Yeah, the Shepherds are doing a great job tonight. I don't know if they're related, but Brodie Shepherd sitting in P2. He's just had an off track, but we'll keep on board with Dean Williams at the moment in the 10th position, with Corey Shepherd right up in behind him. Dean Williams, he's got Josh Millard just in front of him at the moment as well. So this is a nice little battle pack for the 8th, 9th, 10th position, as we're seeing people dive into pit lane at the moment. So this is their time to come in, and they decide to serve, well, you can say it a mandatory pit stop, but it's not really a mandatory pit stop. They have to come in because they're going to run out of fuel. So that's interesting. But I'm just looking at lap times. Last lap time around, Thomas Martin just put half a second on Brodie Shepherd at the front. But if we look at everyone in behind them at the moment, 2:19 for Nathan Moore, 2:18.9 for Wade Sheedy, 2:18.9, 2:18.9, 2:18.9. Everything's to 2:18.9, then it drops back to 2:22s. But Charlie Sutton there, he shows 2:18.9. So Charlie Sutton doing a great job with his lap times as well at the moment. But back to the lead of the motor race, Thomas Martin doing a great job. He's now extended the lead to 1.6 seconds over Brodie Shepherd in the second position. He's showing a lot quicker. I thought Brodie Shepherd had something for Thomas Martin. He might have gone a little bit too, as there's a big incident, or not a big incident, a big moment across the top of the mountain there. Nathan Moore there in the third position. He did good to hold that car across the top of the mountain. He's in the 52. What a great number that is there from Nathan Moore too, by the way. Just saying, great number in the 52, but shouldn't be sideways across the top of the mountain. I do that enough for the 52, mate. You don't need to do that. But Nathan Moore doing a great job. Wade Sheedy in behind him as they make their way down Conrod Straight once again. Lap 7 of 17. This is the battle for the minor place on the podium at the moment, third place. So it is Wade Sheedy and Nathan Moore. Wade Sheedy thinking better of it there, down into... Yeah, he definitely got the run in out of the corner there, but yeah, definitely through the chase there. Oh, there we go. Wade Sheedy's going to get the job done. He's going to get that job done down into Murray's corner, and there we go. There's a change for third place, ladies and gentlemen, and Wade Sheedy gets that job done over Nathan Moore. Charlie Sutton here having a nice little ding-dong battle with Scott Hasler by the looks of it, and Scott Hasler on the inside there, down through Hell Corner for the first time, and Scott Hasler gets the job done on Charlie Sutton as they make their way up Mountain Straight for one more time tonight. We're nearly halfway through the second race here for round number 1, race number 2 of the MSR TCR League here at Mount Panorama Bathurst. It's all happening, Paul. I'll tell you what, I don't know what to call. Like, this is one of the first broadcasts I've ever called, and I don't know what to call. Like, I know you're worrying about what you want to look at, and there's so many cars and everything's happening, but it's so hard to keep the flow going because everywhere you look, there's something happening.
Definitely is. Yeah, I can't keep up with it myself. So we did have a little bit of a issue with live timing there from the start of the race.
There's a big incident there up through the cutting. It did good to keep that off the wall there. That was Brodie Tresidor there on the outside that got a little bit of a clip by Cooper Horswell, and he did a great job to keep that Red Bull livery car off the outside of the wall through the BP cutting, and it's game on now across the top of the mountain. But I tell you what, that could have ended up Jamie Whincup style into the outside of the wall there. They make their way down across the top of the mountain one more time. They'll go through the S's, down through the Dipper, and they'll make their way down into Forest Elbow for the 8th time tonight of 17 of asking. And we're still on board with Jake Edwards. This is the battle. Jake Edwards in 18th position at the moment. That's Matthew Brunt, Cooper Horwell, Brodie Tresidor, and Brad Fenley, as you can see up in the foreground there. This is the battle for the minor positions. We can see, I'm just going to go back and have a look at the moment. Phelpsy's 3 laps down again. So Phelpsy's had a bad run. Not sure whether to bring him up onto the broadcast booth. Not sure whether that's the best thing to do. But Phelpsy's actually still down there. But Phelpsy not having a good run at the moment. Just trying to find someone else that wants to have a chat. I'm not sure that we should actually do that at the moment, Paul. Let's just concentrate on the race because we'll throw him underneath the bus. But Jake Edwards at the moment on screen in the 18th position. We're back to the leader. It's Thomas Martin. He stretched his legs at the fronts now. He is 3.4 seconds over Brodie Shepherd. So Thomas Martin started out of 11th. Tell you what, he's got a bit of pace here, Paul. He didn't show that in race number 1 to the extent he has now, but he's now extending that 3.3 over Brodie Shepherd. Brodie's got Wade Sheedy and Nathan Moore breathing down his neck now over the top of the mountain. So he's going to have one eye in the mirror, one eye in front of him. That's not going to help his lap time, but Thomas Martin sitting in a great position at the moment as Wade Sheedy getting really wide there across the top of the mountain. So a little bit of a 4-car battle at the moment. Dion de Graaf, don't write him off at the moment, sitting back there in the 5th position. But he's got Scott Hasler, Charlie Sutton, Neville Mell, Tom Freer in behind them at the moment. So Dion, he needs to have the same thought as Wade Sheedy. You know, you've got to have one eye in the back, one eye in the front. So we'll see how that happens, whether these want to play this out. But we'll keep on board with this little battle because Scotty Hasler at the moment in the 2-car in the 6th position. He's trying to make the move down in through the chase at the moment. He's going to get that job done. Is that going to end cleanly? It looks like a bit of a switchback here. Are they going to be gentlemanlike or are we going to get a bit of contact? No, great driving. But look in the background. Look who wants to get a part of this one as well. So Sutton wants to get a part of this one. And then Dion goes, I want to go in the pit stop. I don't want a part of this, boys. I'm out. I'm going pit stop. I'll see you later on. So tell you what, Paul, what great driving there by all drivers, and that what respect is around the racetrack.
Definitely, and when you can do that door to door around the corners, and when you've got your mindset there as well, you want to get out of that situation, and obviously 10 laps into 17, they've got that compulsory pit stop for race 2, then that's perfect timing there. There's Dion made his way into pit lane. Get out of the drama early, let the other two have a bit of a battle, and you come out in a bit of clean air, hopefully. But in saying that, Dion's right in the middle of a bigger pack here now.
Yeah, he's going to put himself out in the middle of a bigger pack, so that's not going to be beneficial, but at least Dion's at the front of that pack, so that's going to be beneficial for him for that aspect anyway. But we'll see how that plays out with what the other guys want to do with their pit strategy at the moment. But it is still Thomas Martin, Wade Sheedy, Nathan Moore and Scott Hasler leading the way. They haven't come down pit lane at the moment. Charlie Sutton's another one in 5th position. Haven't decided to come down pit lane and make their pit stop at the moment. So Charlie Sutton, as you're on board at the moment, making their way down across the top of the mountain. Charlie Sutton's right up in behind Scott Hasler, so this is a battle for 4th and 5th. They do have 4 seconds down the road to your 3rd place getter, Nathan Moore. So these two are going to want to not battle too much and just get their pit stop done and get out there because they're a little bit far behind Thomas Martin, Wade Sheedy, Nathan Moore at the moment, but anything can play out. But you've got to have a look for Tom Freer at the moment. He's done his pit stop. He's only 5 seconds behind this battle at the moment, so he's going to be good to go to the end as well. So in a lot of things to play out here yet, mate, with all the laps to go, like a lot to play out. We'll see how all the drivers have tried their different strategies. Oh, there we go. They're both pitting, so we'll see what happens here as they both pit and come into pit lane. So I'm just looking at my live timing, and sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Hasler, Charlie Sutton come into pit lane. I'm just trying to have a look at my live timing and try and make sure I bring you all the right action So Thomas Martin we're on board with now up Mountain Straight. He's decided to go another lap. He's got 4.5 seconds on Wade Sheedy at the moment. That's extending out to 4.6. And we're just watching, we're just watching all the things go through with Scott Hasler and Charlie Sutton pitting, but we're back into the battle for 19th and 20th at the moment. It is Neville Mel. He's in 18th position, and he's got Josh Millard, Tyson Hanmar, and Matt Bailey in behind him at the moment. These drivers have been through pit lane. Matt Bailey hasn't, so Matt Bailey's got a long way to go. But Tyson Hanmar, Josh Millard and Neville Mill have been through pit lane. So we'll see where that plays out at the moment. There are about 6 or 7, 8 drivers in front of them that have been through pit lane. So not really going to affect their race at the moment. I think where we need to be, Paul, is right at the front of this motor race, because Tom Freer has been through pit lane. He's in P4. He's currently 10.7 seconds behind third place of Nathan Moore. So Thomas Martin, Wade Sheedy and Nathan Moore have not come through pit lane. They will have to pit. Tom Freer is 10.6 seconds behind Nathan Moore, who's a further 5 seconds behind Wade Sheedy, and Thomas Martin leading this one at the moment. So the man in the box seat is Tom Freer. Is he going to be able to get to the end? He last come through pit lane on lap number 3. It is a 17-lap race. You can get about 14, 15 laps out. Tom Freer is in the box seat here, Paul. So Wade Sheedy's now come into pit lane. So Tom Freer decided early in this one, lap 3, I'm getting out of this joker stuff, and I am just going to run nice and quietly. And that's what's put him in the position at the moment. So Matthew Borlett's decided to come into pit lane as well. And that's going to move Tom Freer up into the 3rd position. So have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. He's got 10 seconds in front of him. Nathan Moore, who's got 5, 6 seconds in front of him, and Thomas Martin, who is the leader of this motor race. But Tom Freer's the one to keep an eye out for, because he doesn't have to stop to the end. The other 2 in front do. So,
well, here you go, Aidan. This will give you a bit of an idea. So, Tom Freer 10 seconds behind Wade Sheedy when Wade Sheedy pitted, and Wade Sheedy now 15.5 behind Tom. So, that gap to Thomas Martin when Thomas Martin pits is probably going to be about a 9-second gap behind Tom Freer.
It's going to be a lot for Thomas Martin to catch up. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Whatever Tom Freer's done here with his strategy, it has definitely worked. But let's just see how it all plays out as we go back on board with your race leader. Lap 12 into 17. It is Thomas Martin leading the way. He keeps extending that gap. He's put it out to 6 seconds over Nathan Moore at the moment. Tom Freer, as you mentioned, Paul, sitting back there in the 3rd position. He's the one to keep one eye on. He's 16 seconds in behind Thomas Martin. It's definitely, as we see Thomas Martin taking a little bit too much there through the final turns, but he's decided to go again. So let's go back to a couple of battles mid-pack. Let's have a look at this, because how good is this going down Conrod Straight? We've got Rick Kuznetsov. Rick Kuznetsov coming off of P2 in race number 1. He's got Brodie Shepherd, Damon Mulqueen, Wade Sheedy, Scott Hasler, Charlie Sutton, everyone in front of him. So Rick Kuznetsov, that's Bevan Moyes in front of Rick as there's a fake, and it looks like, Rick Kuznetsov and Brodie Moyes coming into pit lane. So that's not going to help their race at all either with their position. So
that's interesting, because Rick has already been through pit lane. So Rick's making a second stop. So possibly those early lap pit stops from the track blockage could have been not enough fuel splash to get home, maybe. Not too sure there, Aidan.
Possibly. Interesting to know, because they can choose their own fuel and whatever they do, so interesting to know. But Rick Kuznetsov, whatever he did there, that was definitely not what he wanted to do. I'm still saying Tom Freer's in the box seat of this one, but Brodie Shepherd there in the 4th position. He has Damon Mulqueen, Scott Hasler, Wade Sheedy, Charlie Sutton all over the back of them as they make their way up through the cutting. This time with lap 13 of 17. Damon Mulqueen sitting there in the 5th position. He's going to want to make the move on Brodie Shepherd. He's not going to be able to do it across the top of the mountain this time around. It's going to have to be a little bit single file as they make their way across the top one more time. 13 out of 17. They're going to make their way down through Skyline, down into the S's, into the Dipper. They're going to want to set, or he's going to want to set himself up in through Forest Elbow, down into Conrod Straight this time around. So Damon Mulqueen, is he going to have anything? Oh, as Wade Sheedy has a little bit of a look there on the inside of Scotty Hasler into Forest Elbow as they make their way down into Conrod this time around. So have a look at this little battle, ladies and gentlemen. We're on board with Wade Sheedy. Wade Sheedy sitting in the background there, but he does have Scott Hasler, Damon Mulqueen, Brodie Shepherd in front of him, make their way down in the chase this time around. Is there going to be a move down into the chase? No, there isn't, and they're going to think, okay, I'm going to be status quo through here, and what a great job by all drivers. So they're going to make their way down into Murray's Corner for the 14th time tonight. We're nearly 3 wide. There's going to be a big send down into Murray's. Are they going to get through here nice and cleanly? A little bit of a touch. Thanks for coming, but they get out of there nice and cleanly. So they come out of Murray's for the 14th time tonight. They go across the line, and we are now lap 14 into 17. Up, down, down Mountain Straight once again. And it is Scott Hasler there. He kept onto that position over Wade Sheedy. It's definitely on there, Paul, but I'm still interested in this front little battle, but let's keep on with this at the moment. Scotty Hasler there in the 6th position. That is Damon Mulqueen, Brodie Shepherd up in front of him. So making their way up into the cutting this time around. So Brodie Shepherd leading the way in 4th position. It is Damon Mulqueen, Scott Hasler, Wade Sheedy, Charlie Sutton in behind them as they make their way across the top of the mountain for one more time through Reed Park, Frog Hollow, Solomon Park, Philamy Park, and then they'll make their way across Skyline this time around, down through Brock Skyline and down through the S's, into the Dipper, and they'll come into Forest Elbow this time around. So have a look at this though, Paul. They got a car in front of them. This is definitely going to play a part in this one. Damon Mulqueen in 5th position. Brodie Shepherd there in front of him in 4th. Nathan Moore's 3 seconds up the road, but Thomas Martin's now just come into pit lane, Paul. I can see it on my live timing. So your leaders come into pit lane. Tom Freer, this is the man that I thought had the strategy. He's going to lead this one. Tom Freer's going to come into pit lane. So he can't get to the end either.
That's what I thought. Those early pit stops wouldn't be enough to get them home. So Tom Freer, 3rd lap was his first stop, and obviously not enough to make the finish at.
That's very interesting, considering the first race was 11 laps. And so Nathan Moore is going to take the lead of this motor race. So he's going straight to the top. Nathan Moore leading this one. So I obviously got my fuel strategy wrong there too, which is not hard, Paul. Like I'm pretty simple. So not hard, but Nathan Moore leading this one up Mountain Straight. It's 15 into 17. He's only got 3 laps left to navigate. If he's got enough fuel to get to the end, he'll get race number 2. He pitted lap number 13, so he's definitely going to get to the end in this one. So Nathan Moore doing a great job. Started out of P52, if you don't mind, Paul. Have a look at that one. Started out of P52 and leading this one.
Well, car 52, started in 52, and now he's first, so...
What can I say? What can I say? What can I say?
Well,
I do run the 52.
There is the big angry pack behind him though. Brody Shepherd, Damon Melqueen, Scott Hassler, and Wade Sheedy, all trying to race him down for that P1. So 4 drivers there behind that are definitely looking quick, but they do have a lap car in front of them. Wade Sheedy right out wide on the grass. And that car control there, great car control there to hold on to that.
Great car control, but you can't say Wade Sheedy ain't trying. But I'll tell you, have a look at this pack. This is one to have a little bit of an eye on for the next 2 laps. This is really their race, because if they can really work well together here, they're going to take a second out of Nathan Moore down the back stretch here, down Conrod Straight. So we'll see whether they can take something out. But I think Nathan Moore, if he can get all his apexes, braking points, everything done, he's going to have this job done at the front. But you have a look at this timing come down as they make their way down Conrod Straight. At the moment, it's dropping a little bit, not dropping as much as I thought it would have, but they're going too wide and they're looking to make a move. So Hasler is trying to make a move here. So forget about the lead. They're like, no, I want 3rd, 4th, 2nd. This is on. So Nathan Moore's going to be looking in his rear vision mirror and going, come on, boys, keep fighting for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because I'm just going to drive off into the distance. But Scott Hasler going on the inside there, and we're going to go 3 wide down the main straight here, down Mount Panorama Bathurst, as we are 16 into 17. Only 2 laps to go. We're 3 wide. And there we go. We knew that was going to happen, but Scotty Hasler makes his way through turn number 1. Damon McQueen, he is the beneficiary of nothing there and got sent on the outside. So these guys need to settle it down and know how to get to the front, because battling that was not going to help him. But I tell you what, Nathan Moore is looking in his rear vision mirror at the moment and going, you know what, boys? Keep doing that every day of the week. So I'm just going to keep going around the front and keep chilling. So Nathan Moore leading the way on the penultimate lap here for race number 2, round number 1 of the MSR TCR League here around Mount Panorama Bathurst. And what an absolutely amazing drive for Nathan Moore. Started out of the P52, pretty much last on the grid, and he's got the job done at the moment. It was a good strategy by him. Come through pit lane on lap 13. His current race laps are about a second quicker than the rest of the field. So he's doing a great job there in P number 1 over Brody Shepherd, Scott Hasler, Wade Sheedy. Dion DeGraaf in the 5th position as well. Brody Shepherd, as we go back on board with, now in 2nd position. He's still got Scott Hasler, Wade Sheedy and Dion DeGraaf, or at least just Scott Hasler and Wade Sheedy right up in behind him. So the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th is not over, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got a lap and a half to go, or a lap and a quarter to go around Mount Panorama Bathurst. So there's your leader that goes off in the foreground at the moment, but this is your 2nd, 3rd and 4th at the moment. Scott Hasler trying to make the move around the outside, down through Conrod, down through the chase. Scott's got that job done. Oh, look out for Wade Sheedy. He's having a big send down. He gets the job done. He gets the car pulled up. And I thought that was going to end in tears, but Wade Sheedy got that Racecraft Simulations car pulled up, and he's going to take the 3rd position over Brody Shepherd. But I tell you what, Brody Shepherd is the one, and Nathan Moore in the pit lane out of the lead of this motor race. So Scott Hasler now takes the lead of the motor race, and we're 1 lap to go, and this is for the win of race number 2. And it's come down to 0.7 of a second. So Scott Hasler leads the way up Mountain Straight for the last time tonight. Wade Sheedy, Brody Shepherd, Tom Freer, Dion DeGraaf in the 5th. But I tell you what, it's all happening. Scott Hasler in the 1st position. He's going to make his way up into Griffin's Bend for the last time tonight. Will Wade Sheedy have anything for Scott Hasler across the top of the mountain. So up they come into the cutting this time. Very important to get a really good run off here. Keep that wheel spin down. It is front wheel drive, so it's not really going to matter that much. So all momentum across the top of the mountain here. Keeping the steering inputs minimal, keeping that flow up all the way across as they make their way now across through Reed Park, Frog Hollow, Salmon Park, into McPhillamy Park this time around, and then they'll come across Skyline and then down through the S's and into the Dipper for the last time tonight. So can Wade Sheedy get close enough to the back of Scott Hasler to have a dive down Conrod Straight? So now into Forest Elbow for the last time tonight for lap 17, race number 2 of the TCR series here on the MSR League. So we'll see here, Wade Sheedy not quite close enough at the moment. Not sure whether he's going to get a good enough draft. Scott Hasler, he's pretty much in the box seat at the moment, but don't write off Wade Sheedy because he will have a dive if he needs to, but he's not quite close enough at the moment. So Scott Hasler just needs to break this car into the chase this time around. He's getting that done pretty well. Wade Sheedy just gaining a little bit there through the change of direction. He's going to have a little bit of a look here into Murray's. Is he going to have ascend in the Murray's, or is he just going to sit there in P number 2? Looks like he's not close enough. He's going to sit there in the P number 2. And your winner for race number 2, round number 1 of the MSR TCR League is Scott Hasler. What a great job there by Scotty Hasler. Wade Sheedy comes home in P2 and Tom Freer in P3. Paul, as we see all these drivers come across the grid, we won't go through the full standings at the moment because we will do that in a second. But, mate, that was definitely not how I expected the end of this race. Or Sebastian Barndell having a little bit of how you going there on the outside, and they're definitely fighting for the race here down in the Murray's for the last time. Sebastian Barndell there on the outside, and he's getting hung out to dry, and he's going to come home in the 22nd position. So Seb's not. Brad Fenley with a big send in the last corner over Adam Hughes. He's going to get that job done too. He actually got that job done nice and cleanly. So well done there by Brad Fenley. He was well inside the top 20 there, and he went backwards.
Yeah, Adam Hughes just held that over the line there, so couldn't quite get that done.
I don't know where Phelpsy went tonight because I didn't see him anywhere. But anyway, I keep looking back on there. But Fenley...
Oh, I don't see Phelpsy anywhere either, but, you know.
He's nowhere. But Schultzy. Old Schultzy, I tell you. I have to have a chat to Schultzy, my namesake. He's got to have a look at himself. Nah, that's joking. But no, it was amazing racing, Paul, in all seriousness. Round 1 of the MSR TCR League around Mount Panorama Bathurst. Absolute pleasure to bring it to everyone on the InSim Esports Network, and we're actually humbled to be able to bring it because some of the drivers we've seen in this, and the amount of drivers seen with over 50 cars here around Mount Panorama Bathurst. It's one of the biggest races we've called here on the InSim Esports Network. There's a lot of drivers are still going around at the moment, just finishing off. But how good was it, mate? Something a little bit different. I know that we probably struggled to bring all the action because there was so much going around, and where we wanted to be as we on board there with Phelpsy. You can see there with the Kiwi Fern up the side. But it was great to bring the action to everyone nonetheless, mate. Like, I hope everyone enjoyed it here on the InSim Esports Network. But we'll go through your final standings here for race number 2 of the MSR League for round number 1 at Bathurst. Scotty Hasler does win race number 2. Wade Sheedy takes out the 2nd position. Tom Freer in P3. De Graaf in 4th. Jake Edwards in 5th. Shepherd in 6th and 7th. It's a Shepherd 6th and 7th. Neville Mel in 8th. Damon McQueen in 9th. Matthew Hansford-Taylor in 10th. Matty Boylett in 11th. Rick Kuznetsov in 12th. Josh Millard in 13th, as I can't see. Yep, so Millard 13th, Matthew Brunt 14th, Thomas Martin 15th, Nathan Smith 16th, Blake Urquhart in 17th, Brodie Tressida in the 18th position. In the 19th position tonight was Aidan Ford, Tyson Hanma in Hanma in 20th, Braden Grotch in 21st, Sebastian Bundell 22nd, Matt Bailey in 23rd, Shane Bowden in 24th, Ben Gollard 25th, Jai Schultz in 26th, Adam Hughes 27th, Brad Fenley in 28th. In the 29th position will be Nathan Moore, Cooper Horwell 30th, Dean Williams 31st, Jack Haslam in 32nd, Chris Tomlin in, oh, hang on, that went off. Tomlin in 33, Phelpsy in 34th, but you can go through and see where your favourite driver was tonight. But we'll have to bring up the drivers, Paul, to see whether we can have a chat with them.
Well, you go hunting, and I'll finish off this list if you want.
If you can do that, that'd be great.
Yeah. Bevan Moyes 35th, Stuart Patterson 36th, Matthew Graham 37th, Kurt Ingwersen in 38th, Graham Follard in 39th, Troy Mortensen in 40th, Charlie Sutton 41st, Brian Borg 42nd, Luke Swan 43rd, Joshua Woolley in 44th, Jordan Ross 45th, 46th, Tyler Bowen 47th, Harrison Cross 48th, Max Christensen. And 49th, Brock Cully, Brock Smith 50th, Grant Patullo in 51, Adam Ariel 52, JJ Hamilton 53, Anthony Trigago. That one's going to trip us up, Aiden, a lot. And 54th, and Shane Newens in 55th.
In 55th. Yeah, I'm glad it's you stuffing up names, because it's usually me making myself look like an absolute idiot. But anyway, what an amazing night here on the Indocim Esports Network to bring you round one of the MSR TCR League around Mountain Panorama Bathurst. We do have Scott Hasler and Wade Sheedy up into the broadcast booth at the moment. We're just looking to see whether we can bring Tom Freer up here at the moment. He's not in any of the channels, so we might as well just move straight forward and have a chat to the first and second place getters tonight as we go to the Aiden and Pruse Media Cube instant replay. But we'll jump straight up to Wade Sheedy, mate. Wade, good race there in P number 2. Up 6 spots, started out of P number 8, come home P2. But first and foremost, without your result tonight, let's just talk about the TCR League, the new one from the MSR. 50-odd cars around Mount Panorama Bathurst. What an amazing race, mate. Like, it was sensational driving by everyone involved.
Yeah, definitely surprised by the turnout. Wasn't expecting this many to sort of rock up, to be honest. Yeah, a lot of cars around here, as you would have seen. Got a bit messy a couple of times, but just got to find the gaps, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard. Without live race control, it can definitely be a little bit hard, but you did a good job getting the number 09 car up there, especially in the second race, and having a nice solid result. How do you like these TCR cars? Have you done a lot with them before you come into this series, or how are you finding them? Because obviously iRacing, with the new patch update, they released the new Hyundai, etc. And it wasn't the Audi, it was the other car. So the Honda, sorry. So how'd you find the patch update? Have you done a lot with the cars before you come into this series, especially being an open series too around Mount Panorama Bathurst? You can definitely get it wrong or definitely get it right. So how do you find it?
Honestly, this is the first week sort of driving the car myself, normally driving the supercar. So going from a rear wheel drive to a front wheel, huge difference. Definitely a lot more understeer, doesn't kick out sideways as much, but yeah, definitely tone the beast to be able to drive it properly, that's for sure.
Well, we definitely know you do a lot of supercar racing, because we do watch a lot of RSRA, a lot of other stuff, a lot of things that people do. So we've seen you in there doing that, mate. It's good to have you out here supporting the MSR TCR League tonight. And even better to see you get a P2 tonight, mate. Good job here for the second race. So big shout out to everyone involved for your P2 tonight.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, normally at the back end of the group for the team, but it's good to be up the front for a change. Yeah, I'd like to thank Racecraft and TMB Cleaning, Performance Machining, Advanced Machining, and Kookaburra's Cafe, for sure.
No worries at all, mate. Well, sensational drive tonight to take home P2 for race number 2 of the inaugural round, race number 1, or round number 1 of the MSR TCR League, mate. So hold your head up high. Hopefully we're talking to you here on the broadcast booth, here on the Indesim Esports Network for round 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 that we've got to come. But your second place getter tonight for round number 1 of the MSR TCR League was Wade Sheedy in the 09 entry, Racecraft Simulations entry. We go straight across, though, to your winner. We don't have Tom Freer at the moment. He's not available to bring up into the broadcast booth, your third place getter, but we'll go straight to your winner, Scotty Hasler. Scott, mate, that was a masterclass of strategy there, and you got that job done. Started out at P number 4. Got the job done. We thought a couple of drivers in front of you that had to pit late, we thought they were going to get the job done on you, but that was a masterstroke of strategy.
Thanks. I was actually kind of kicking myself when the safety car came out and a few guys jumped in the pits, and I was sort of running through some calculations in my head, and I thought I'd missed a trick there. But it looks like those guys just didn't quite have enough. So yeah, I just sort of tried to keep out of trouble. I actually started 27th for that one. It was 4th for the first race. So it was just a matter of sort of keeping it clean, and I really didn't think the race was actually going particularly. Like, I was pretty happy, but it felt like I'd sort of gotten into too many battles, and I was sort of just giving away time until essentially the penultimate, or the last quarter of the penultimate lap. Yeah, P1 came in, and yeah, I sort of realised it was on.
It was actually funny you said you started at 27th, because I was looking at my live timing and it said you were up 3 spots in your starting position. We were having a lot of issues there early in the race with that caution, with the live timing trying to correct itself. But either way, it doesn't matter, mate. You're up there, and you got the W done tonight. You got the chockies. We did see other drivers up there. They're up 40 odd spots and trying to get the job done, obviously trying to stretch that fuel and get to the end. But you got it done nonetheless, mate, and you got to be happy with that one. First night out, TCR League, around one of the most trickiest tracks around Australia. And you get the chockies here in the TCR series for the MSR TCR League here for round number 1.
Yeah, I'm still kind of shaking. It's an absolute surprise. I was not expecting to get a win, or even, there's some quality guys in this field. So yeah, it's an absolute shock. And yeah, I really didn't think it was possible until a lap or two from the end. Yeah, it was great fun. All the guys I was racing, they were racing hard but fair, and yeah, that was just great fun.
Well, that's the name of the game. It looks like a lot of fun. Me and Paul definitely want to be up there driving. We'd love to be, but we love being able to give the opportunity to bring all the action here on the Indesim Esports Network. And you didn't let the viewers down tonight, mate. You did a great job, and you took the number 2 Scott Hasler car up into P, mate. Your time to shine.
Yeah, just a big thank you to the boys at Caliath Racing, GoPro and Skull Candy, who have come on board in the last couple of months. So a big thank you to them. And yeah, we'll see what we can do in the coming weeks.
No worries at all, mate. Well, congratulations again for your P1 tonight. We look forward to talking to you here on the broadcast booth here on the Indesim Esports Network. If you haven't already, jump onto our Facebook page, have a look, like and follow us, and make sure you do not miss all the action when we do go live here for the MSR TCR series for round number 2 next Wednesday night. But tonight, your winner was the number 2, Scott Hasler, for round number 1. But it does not stop here on the Indesim Esports Network. We're going to go live this Friday night for what will be round 11, the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. Your location will be Talladega Superspeedway for 76 laps. We'll go live here on the IndySim Esports Network from 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 6:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 7:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you are. Do not miss that one here on the IndySim Esports Network. It is the final round. It will be Norman Clark leading the way. Who's going to take home the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series as we go super speedway racing on Friday night here on the IndySim Esports Network? But then you can join us again here on Sunday night, which will be round number 9 of the Ray White Rural Gainter Australasian Supercar E-Series. We're going road racing again, ladies and gentlemen. It's from the Kansas Speedway road course. So we're seeing supercars go around road courses again from Kansas Speedway. So we look forward to bringing you all the action here on the IndySim Esports Network for that one. You can see us the same place, the same time. We're all excited to bring you all that action. But then we will be back live here on Wednesday night, same place, same time, 6:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time for what will be round number 2, Paul. So just looking at what is going to be around number 2 at the moment, just trying to find that one. Because there's no schedule up here, but we're looking forward to bring you round number 2 of what's going to be an absolutely sensational race here on the IndySim Esports Network. But Paul, first night out, broadcasting the TCRs around one of the most famous tracks around Australian motorsport. How good was that?
Definitely exciting stuff there, Aiden, and I'm sure there's another 5 rounds of plenty more action-packed racing.
Yeah, most definitely is. Can't wait to see all the action. But ladies and gentlemen, that will bring the broadcast to an end tonight for round number 1 of the MSR TCR League. Again, your winner tonight was the number 2 Scott Hasler, Wade Sheedy home in P number 2, and Tom Freer home in P number 3. Of course, again, join us again on Friday night as we go live for round number 11, the deciding round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series from Talladega Superspeedway. You can see all the action here live on the IndySim Esports Network. And then once again on Sunday night, where we bring you the next round before we go into the Christmas break for the Ray White Rural Gainter Australasian Supercar E-Series will be from Kansas Motor Speedway. That does bring to an end, though, round number 1 of the MSR TCR League. We thank you, everyone, for joining and tuning in here on the IndySim Esports Network. We hope you enjoyed all the action. I tell you what, we definitely did. But from Paul, myself, and everyone at the IndySim Esports Network, that calls it a night. We look forward to seeing you on Friday night for the NASCAR Next Gen Series here on the IndySim Esports Network.